quick little test for you. Does it feel like a video game? Test number one. And I'm not looking, by the way. Let's see. Oh yeah, that feels like a video game, all right. I'm thinking late 80s, maybe a NES game. Nailed it. All right, next up, let's see, what do we got here? Kind of feels late 90s to me. Big and loud. I'm gonna say a Sega Saturn game. Nailed it again. All right, now next up. This is a tricky one. I'm thinking like maybe a PS2 game? I'm gonna say Ratchet and Clank. Not a game, but even better. Yeah, there came a point in time where people started saying stuff like, wait a second, this video game feels more like a movie, but what's the problem there? I thought people liked movies. Well, sure they do, but they want them kept separate from their video games. It's your classic ketchup and water conundrum. People like ketchup, people like water, but put them together and all of a sudden there's a problem. I should point out though, and this is really important, that a lot of it comes down to preference. So somebody may very well prefer slugging down a nice, tall, refreshing glass of ketchup water, much like somebody may very well like having their movies and video games combined into one, at least for some of their games, maybe not all of their games. And the point of this video isn't to disparage somebody enjoying having movies infused into their games, it's just to focus in on those games that really feel like they are purely a video game. Think about it almost the way you would comparing different genres. If I made a video talking about shoot 'em ups, that wouldn't mean I'm saying that run and gun games are trash. It's just narrowing my focus to something and appreciating the differences. Alright, so given this context, what would a video game that feels like a video game be? Well, how about we start with some tropes. Different levels, different power-ups, different abilities, boss fights, different weapons, all the things that when they happen in a game, they make you think, now this feels like a video game. I would be willing to bet that when you were a kid, or maybe you still are a kid, all are welcome here, but I'd be willing to bet that when you were a kid, you had some moments with your friends that are what I like to call, we are playing a video game moments. And these moments revolved around some of the video game tropes that I mentioned. And to give you an example, a quick little story for you. So the year was 1997, or maybe it was 1998, I can't remember for certain, but it was my birthday during the summer. And for my birthday that year, I was getting a Nintendo 64 with Diddy Kong Racing. So I get the Nintendo 64, I'm crazy excited. You know, it's all the usual stuff of a kid losing their mind because they just got a brand new game console. So my cousin was over that day and we're playing Diddy Kong Racing, having a grand old time, lots of fun. So we're playing through the races and we're figuring out that when you get the different colored balloons, you get different weapons, which is fun. So we're getting the different colored balloons, but then we realize if you get multiple of the same color, it will keep upgrading your weapon. So we get one red balloon and it gives us a missile. Then we get two red balloons, and after we get that second red balloon, that missile turns into a heat-seeking missile. All right, that's cool. We're getting excited. Then we get a third red balloon, and oh my goodness, it gives you 10 missiles. We lost our minds. And right as we get these 10 missiles, the race is about to end. We're in first place, and things are looking pretty good. But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, coming speeding past us is Tip Top the Turtle. Well, not so fast there, buddy. We've got our 10 missiles and we're ready to lock and load. So we start hammering that Z trigger like nobody's business. firing those missiles like wild. And naturally, the first 4 or 5 missiles are nowhere near Tip Top the turtle. But then one connects, and then boom, 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 all of the rest of the missiles all connect, and we light him up like some sort of fireworks display. And then speed past him to win the race at the very end. And let me tell you, an NBA player who just won the NBA Finals has got nothing on the way we celebrated that victory. And that is what I call a "we are playing a video game" moment. The type of sensation you can only get from a video game because you are the one making it happen. Interactivity in video games is what makes them feel a little bit different every single time you play them, whereas a movie is static. It's the same thing every single time, although admittedly the movie Up seems to always find new ways to tug at my heartstrings every time I watch it. But either way, video games are interactive, and what a game gives you to interact with is what's going to really make it feel like a video game. Now, when it comes to some of the different interactive elements found in video games, I've already gone over some stuff like different levels, different weapons, different power-ups, different bosses, but how about a new one for you? Game over screens. Yeah. Well, and when it comes to game over screens, typically by interactivity, it's just gonna be, do you want to start the entire game over again or not? In my opinion, getting a game over, or even just the threat of getting a game over, is one of the primary incentives for playing well in a game, and the thing that makes playing well feel like it matters, because you're not going to be able to reach the later parts of the game unless you do play well. Part of what makes a game is that your success is not guaranteed. You play the game to see how successful you can be. I mean, you wouldn't play a game of checkers and just assume you're gonna win no matter what, unless you were playing against like your niece or nephew or something, although I wouldn't get cocky. Alright, but that about does it for my thoughts. Now it's time for all of yours. And my specific question for this video is, what is your "we are playing a video game" moment? Or, you know, if you were by yourself, what was your "I am playing a video game" moment? Also, bonus question, who's your favorite character in Up? It's gotta be the dog, right? Well, in any case, leave your responses down below, and I will see ya in the next video.
He's the retro bird, yeah. And he's talking about video games. He's the retro bird, oh yes. And he hopes that you like